I had a whole bunch of not perfect going on outside, too. The truth looked, to me, like a giant list of things to work on. The least I could do was call it what it was: the worst. You're welcome. I did understand all the things that were expected of me. I could see all the life rules. I'd just never been able to follow them all. I couldn't follow the rules about looking just right and not being too weird, or the rules about not taking up space. Did I mention the 6 kids? Or the rules about buying all the right things. I've always had way too many feelings to follow the rules about being low maintenance or quiet or go with the flow. I couldn't do any of that, but I could at least let you know I understood the program. That was how I made up for not fitting into the system. It was like an existence tax. The worst. Being the worst is exhausting. That's what I was thinking about when I went to hear my friend Jessica speak at her church. I have an on-again, off-again relationship with church. For as long as I can remember, I've understood myself to be a child of God, known and loved. I like Anne Lamott's explanation about God, that we might call God the animating energy of love we are sometimes bold enough to believe in, or something unimaginably big and not us, or goodness, or the divine mystery, or the source of all things, or, as Lamott writes, for convenience sake, we could just say God. I've always found God to be a source of comfort, but I haven't always found churches to be quite as welcoming. And if church is hard for me, as a straight, white, married, middle-class woman, I can't imagine it's a whole lot easier for anyone else. At its best, church is a beautiful thing, a community of people who gather to remind each other of who they are, to learn and grow together, and to practice being a loving presence in the world. So I kept trying. Jessica and I weren't exactly friends yet, but we'd met a couple of times. I knew her background was in social work. I knew she was going to be talking about brokenness and shame and God and connection. When she said brokenness, I understood her to mean all the things that made me the worst. Being the worst felt like being broken. I saw the email invitation and thought, I'm in. I like the idea of working toward my own health and wholeness. Doesn't that sound good? But if you're working on becoming more whole, that means you're walking around aware of your brokenness all the time. You see all the gaps and untidy corners, all the dark places and sticky patches that still need to be worked through. It's complicated. If you're going to make things better, you have to be aware of what needs fixing, and I was very, very aware. What were you supposed to do if you could see the truth and you couldn't fix it? What were you supposed to do if you knew you were not perfect and therefore not okay, and therefore the worst? Maybe Jessica would explain this to me. I had tried fixing myself, but fixing things hadn't made me better. Fixing things made me tired. Because the truth is, you can't fix everything. Some things just are the way they are. I don't know why. No matter how many bowls I bought to hold my keys, I never remembered to actually put them there. I did keep trying, though, because the next one I bought might be magic. No matter how many times I told myself that my kids had a cold and not the swine flu, I continued to secretly worry that the world was about to end. No matter how friendly someone might seem, I always suspected that they only let me stay at the party because I brought the sliced fruit. The truth was that I was messy, and the mess didn't seem to be going anywhere. But if the truth was supposed to set me free, this was not that. I did not feel free. I felt all tied up with my dramatic feelings and my forgetfulness and my disorganization and my never-clean refrigerator shelves. How did other people hold it all together? How did other people show up everywhere on time and appropriately dressed, with all the required accessories, unruffled and not looking like they lost a battle with hair product on the way in? How did everyone else always know the answers to all the hard questions, like, how are you and what's new? How did they have clean kitchen counters and cars that did not look like a receipt explosion had taken place in the center console? This was what I could not figure out. It's like there was some special thread to sew up your life that I did not have.